Dear students, we finished the second lesson, first three grammar exercises based on all the three grammar exercises based on imperfect. Now we are going to do the fourth grammar exercise. Fourth grammar exercise is a combination of passive composite and imperfect both. You know how to do the imperfect. You know how to do the imperfect. This is the method to do the imperfect, where you have to use it if you are describing about the continuous or repeated habitual actions or incomplete actions. You have to use passive imperfect. But passive composite past tense is different. It describes a completed action. Past tense always tells about a completed action, while imperfect describes about incomplete or regular action in the past tense. We are going to use both in the fourth grammar exercise. If you know the difference, then you will do the grammar exercise easily. Imperfect form, you know how to do it. Formation of imperfect for all the verbs. Take the new form of that verb in present tense. For all the verbs, take the new form of that verb in present tense. Cut the ONS, keep the remaining as the stem. To that stem, add the different endings for different persons. Here is the ending, say AIS, CAIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AINT. 6 endings for 6 different persons. For all the verbs, you have to follow this. Only exception for ether verb, you can't follow this. The stem for the ether verb is ET. For remaining all verbs, you have to follow this method to do the imperfect conjugation. Past tense, now only I told you, it's a completed action. If you see this line, you will understand when to use past tense, when to use imperfect. Imperfect is a lengthy action going on in the past. During that time, any short action happens at any precise moment that you can express in passive composite form, past tense. That is the difference between imperfect and passive composite. Before going to the exercise, read the sentence. Combine the sentence by using the passive composite and imperfect. Now only I gave the explanation when to use passive, how to use passive composite, how to use imperfect. Passive composite, you know the method, subject plus for sentence structure, subject plus auxiliary verb plus past participle. Here the example is given, you have to follow that. Subject, you know what is the subject, it will given there. Auxiliary verb that you have to selected based upon the main verb which comes in the third place. First subject, next auxiliary verb, main verb will come in the third place. You have to identify which verb you have to use based on the main verb. Then only you can select the auxiliary verb. For few verbs only auxiliary verb is ether. Correct count is 17. For remaining all the verbs, auxiliary verb is avoir. Let us go to the grammar exercise. Hello, good morning students. Last class we finished second lesson, first 3 grammar exercises. 1, 2, 3 we finished. Now we are going to start the fourth grammar exercise, second lesson, page number 17. Here, look at the fourth grammar exercise. Combinez les phrases en utilisant le passé composé et l'imparfait. Example, they are given one example. Two sentences given, you have to make it a single sentence by using the passé composé and imparfait. Now we'll see what is the question. Combine the sentence by using the past tense and imparfait. An example is given, je reste chez moi, one sentence. Then second sentence, je suis malade. I stay in my house. I am sick. Two sentences. You have to make it a single sentence by using the past tense and imperfect. I already explained you how to make past tense and imperfect. Past tense should be in subject plus auxiliary verb plus past participle. Imperfect, simple tense, you have to make it in imperfect conjugation. Imperfect conjugation, I told you how to do the conjugation. For any verb, take the new present tense form of that verb, cut the ons, replace the endings according to the subject. Now two sentences there. You make the first verb into past tense, put the second verb in imperfect, and use the word pask for joining the do sentence. The conjunction is pask for joining the two sentence. Here, je rest. What is the first verb used here? Reste verb. Reste verb you have to convert into past tense. Reste verb, for reste verb, auxiliary verb is être verb. So être verb conjugation, je suis resté, participe passé. After the auxiliary verb, participe passé of reste verb. Reste verb is er verb. So you are replacing the er. Here it is given in present tense. You have to replace, put it in past tense. Reste accent. Reste chez moi. Then remove the full stop. Use the conjunction pask because je. Then you have to put this verb in imperfect because you have to use both present tense and past imperfect. You have to use both past tense and imperfect to change this, combine these two sentences, making a single sentence. Here, je, write the je, first person, suis, ether verb is given in present tense. You have to convert into imperfect. Ether verb is exception. So base is et and the first person endings is ais. Je suis malade. I remained in my house because I was sick. This is the example given. Make a joining the two sentence, making a single sentence. Now we'll go to the first question, fourth grammar exercise. Indra tombe, elle ne fait pas attention. Indra fell down. She did not pay attention. So you have to convert this verb into passive composite. Next verb, what verb is followed? That verb you have to put it in imperfect. Now for first, tombe, tombe, er verb. For this verb, what is the auxiliary verb? Ether. So third person, Indra, est, ether verb conjugation est, tombe, er verb, tombe, accent. Then remove the full stop, use the past conjunction. Indra est tombe, past L, write the subject, then write the negative form, negative element any, fair, FAIT, fair verb conjugation is given in present tense. Now we have to convert this this verb into past tense. Imperfect. Fair verb, what is the new form of the fair verb? FAISONS. So cut the ONS. If what is the remaining stem? FAIS. Third person endings for L, AIT. That is the imperfect conjugation for the fair verb. Then continue the sentence. Indra est tombée parce qu'elle ne faisait pas attention. Indra fell down because she did not pay attention. Now, second question. Vous téléphonez à Magesh, vous avez envie d'y aller au cinéma. Both is given in present tense. You have to convert the first half into passive composite, second verb, first verb into passive composite, second verb into imperfect. Telephone. So write the subject VOUS. Telephone is given in present tense, ER verb. For telephone, auxiliary verb is avoir. So AV is auxiliary verb. Then ER verb, replace ER by E accent. Because telephone, TELE, PHO, ER verb, replace ER by E accent. Vous avez téléphoné à Magesh parce que, write again the subject où. What verb is used here? AV is at avoir verb. So you have to convert this into imperfect. Avoir verb, AV ONS. How to do the imperfect? Take the new form of the verb. Nous avons, AV ONS. So if you cut the ONS, what is remaining? AV. Then add the endings according to the subject. IZ. Vous avez envie d'y aller au cinéma. What you have to do, put for the first verb in passive composite, then in the second turn you put the first verb in imperfect, then continue the remaining sentences. That's all you have to do. Now coming to the third question. Je vais chez le dentiste. J'ai mal au dent. What is the first verb used here? VAIS, aller verb. For aller verb, you have to convert into passive composé. Aller verb, auxiliary verb is être. So, je suis. Then, aller verb, path participle, ALLE accent. Je suis allé chez le dentiste parce que je, AI. What verb is used here? Avoir verb. So, you have to convert this verb into imperfect. Avoir verb, AV. AIS, AVAIS. Je suis allé chez le dentiste parce que j'avais mal aux dents. I went to the doctor's place because I had toothache. Because I had toothache. J'avais mal aux dents. Now, fourth question. Nous nous baignons dans le lac. Il fait chaud. What is the verb used there? B-I-G-N-E-R, but the pronominal verb. This verb is the pronominal verb. So look at here. Subject, pronoun, then verb. Given in pronominal verb, given in present tense. You have to convert this into past tense. For all the pronominal verbs, auxiliary verb is yetter. So you have to use the yetter verb conjugation for the nu. So nu, write the subject, write the pronoun, then auxiliary verb you have to write here. For nu form, yetter verb conjugation is SOMMES present tense. Then write the past participle. Baigne, this is also ER verb. So you have to just replace E accent, replace ONS by E accent, Baigne, BAIGNER. So replace ER by E accent. Then you have to add one more yes here because the subject is plural. Past participle will agrees with the subject if the auxiliary verb is yetter. If the auxiliary verb is avoir, no need to change the past participle. If it is yetter, change the past participle. Then continue the sentence. Dans le lac, parce que il fait, il, write the sentence il. What verb is used here? Fait, faire verb. Then write that faire verb in imperfect. FAIS is the stem. AIT is the endings, third person. Because what is the faire verb conjugation for nous? Nous faisons. Present tense. Where you have to take the stem for the imperfect? From the present tense only you have to take the stem for all the imperfect conjugations. So the stem is FAIS, the endings is AIT, third person, faisons chaud. Nous sommes baignés, we bathed in the lake because it was hot. Then fifth question. Ils écrivent à leur parents. First sentence. Next sentence. C'est leur anniversaire du mariage. They write to their parents. It is their marriage anniversary, wedding anniversary. Send two sentences. You have to join this into a single sentence. What you have to do? You have to convert first verb into passive composite. Second verb, what verb is used there? Convert into imperfect. Now first verb, écrire. They write. What is the verb used here? Écrire verb. ECRIRE. RE verb. Irregular verb. So the past participle will be different. For the écrire verb, what is the auxiliary verb? Avoir. So write the subject ILS. Auxiliary verb conjugation. Avoir verb conjugation ONT for the last person. Write it. Then write the past participle of écrire verb ECRIT. Ils ont écrit. You know how to write the past tense structure. First subject, next auxiliary verb, then past participle. What verb is given there? For that verb, find what is the auxiliary verb. Write it. Then write the past participle of that verb, given verb. This is the past tense structure. Then continue the sentence. Ils ont écrit à leurs parents parce que c'est, see, what verb is used here? EST, ether verb. So you have to convert this into imperfect. That is like that only they are done in the example. You have to convert the first verb into passive composite, second verb into imperfect. Parce que c'est, ether verb third person, EST, ether verb imperfect, ET, AIT. ET is the base, AIT is the endings. C'était leur anniversaire du mariage. They wrote to their parents because it was their wedding anniversary. This is the fourth grammar exercise. Combine the two sentences by using the past tense and imperfect. They are given the example. See the example. In that method, you have to do all the 5 questions in the 4th grammar exercises. Now we completed the 4th grammar exercise. Now we are going to start the 5th grammar exercise, second lesson. Vous posez des questions à votre grammaire au sujet de son adolescence. Donnez ses réponses. This is the 5th grammar exercise. What they are asking you to do, look at here. You ask questions to your grandmother about her teenage. Give answers. You are asking questions to your grandmother about her teenage. You have to give answers to the questions. Both you have to do. Questions here he is given. Give answers to the questions. Now what is the first question? Où habitais-tu quand tu étais jeune? Où habitais-tu quand tu étais jeune? Where you lived when you was young? When you were young. Where you lived when you were young. Quand j'étais jeune, when I was young, j'habitais à Madurai. Here, the answers you have to give on your own. But you have to use it in imperfect. You have to reply in imperfect, but any answers you can use. Give answers means there is no defined answer. Any answers on your own you can give. Example, j'habitais à Madurai. I lived in Madurai. Instead of that, you can use I lived in village. I lived in Chennai. I lived in any other city. Whatever you like, you can reply in that answer. But what is the questions? Where you lived when you were young? When I was young, I lived in Madurai. This is the answer for the first question, 5th grammar exercise. Now second question, avec qui jouais-tu? With whom you used to play. With whom you used to play. Avec qui jouais-tu? Jouer verb. You have to answer, je jouais avec mes amis. You can also give different answers. Je jouais avec mes parents. Je jouais avec mes cousins. Je jouais avec mes amis. All answers are correct. But you have to reply, je jouais. Answer is, question is second person tu. So you have to start with je jouais. Jouer verb avec mes amis. Second question. Third question. Tes frères, tes sœurs et toi, travaillez-vous après l'école? Your brothers, your sisters and yourself, you worked after the school? We. You can say yes or no. Both answers are correct. I used here yes. Yes, nous travaillions. Put that verb in imperfect. That's all. Subject is question is plural. Vous. So I have to answer nous or je singular. Both are correct. Negative also is also correct. Positive, negative. Both are correct. Nous travaillions. Here, travailler verb. For vous conjugation, IEZ is there. For nous conjugation, replace IEZ by IONS. That's all. Nous travaillions après l'école. We worked after the school. Third question. Now, fourth question. Que faisais-tu le samedi soir? What you are doing in the Saturday evenings? What you are doing in the Saturday evenings? General question. All are general questions. You can answer different. You can say in different. You can use different answers also for this questions. In the Saturday evenings, je regardais la télé. Le samedi soir, je regardais la télé. In the Saturday evenings, I used to watch television. This is one answer. You can also use different answers. I used to play with my friends. Je jouais avec mes amis. That also you can use. Otherwise, je apprenais le français. I will learn French. Otherwise, I used to play games. Anything you can use. Different answers, multiple answers are possible for these 5th grammar exercise. Question they are given, you can answer in different ways. Here, what you are used to do in the Saturday evenings? In the Saturday evenings, je regardais la télé. I will use to watch television. Last fifth question in the fifth grammar exercise. Lise chu Jeromo. Do you used to read novels? We. Question is chu, so you have to answer with first person che. Oui, je lisais des romans. Yes, I used to read novels. Je lisais, lire verb, L-I-S-A-S, second person. First person also same conjugation only, L-I-S-A-S. Yes, I used to read novels. Fifth grammar exercise. What is the fifth grammar exercise? You are asking questions to your grandmother about a teenager. Questions is given. You have to answer to the questions. Answer you can make on your own. Different answers are also possible. You have to use the reply properly to that question. Different answers are possible. Fifth grammar exercise. Over.